Good morning, Floss Tube. It's Julie with Reflections Framing and Stitching. Today is Friday. It's the 15th of January, and this is Chart of the Day video number 100. Welcome back, as the case may be. As you can see, I'm at home today. We're having blizzard-like conditions outside. I had no appointments, and so I made the executive decision to stay home today. I probably could have gone in, but the wind is blowing like a bazillion miles an hour, and, well, not really a bazillion, probably 50 miles an hour out there. And it's still snowing, and it's blowing, and I didn't feel like it. So I figured with no appointments, I might as well stay home and do something here. I made myself some hot chocolate, some keto hot chocolate. So it's sugar-free. It's only supposed to be like 3 grams of carbs in an 8-ounce cup. I used a recipe off of Pinterest. And it uses, what does it use? It uses cocoa powder, it uses heavy cream powder, some granulated swerve, some powdered swerve, a little bit of salt. I gotta admit though, I had to doctor. This is the first time I've made, when I was a kid, I'm going off on a tangent here. When I was a kid, we always had this big, huge bowl of hot cocoa mix that you'd make with like Hershey's Quick, Nestle's Quick, and instant milk powder, some powdered sugar, and it was amazing. But it's really got a lot of sugar in it. So I've been missing it, and I thought, well, maybe I can find I haven't really tried it now that it's cooled down. Maybe I can find a recipe for a sugar-free version that would be fairly good. And I have to admit that I did taste it before I started this video just a little bit, and I did add more sugar to it because it was very bitter for my taste buds. But I'm also one that you can tell me something is sweet and I'll taste it, and it's makes my jaws hurt because it's so sour. So it's not bad now that I've added a little more sugar to it. Well, not real sugar, but swerve. It's drinkable. I'll drink it. So anyway, how are you? Doing good. Dan came out of quarantine yesterday. He did not get sick. His sister did not get sick, and his mother did not get sick. So dodged a bullet there. It's good to have him up on the same level of the house as myself. So, although he did have to teach last night, so we really didn't see a whole lot of each other because this semester's or quarter's class is a little more work than I'm gonna be nice and say they're a little more work than he's been having. They require a little more teaching. So he was down there until 9:30. So we didn't have a whole lot of time to talk or anything, but it was good to have him upstairs. I'm glad he's back. He did go into work today. The schools all around are closed, but he's not a teacher in his regular job, so he still has to report. So, what else can I tell you? Not a whole lot. It was a busier, that's what I want to say, a busier week than it has been at the shop. I had like 2 appointments every day. I was supposed to have until yesterday. I was supposed to have 2 appointments yesterday, but the one gal had to cancel, and then I'm supposed to have 2 appointments tomorrow, but one lady's already canceled due to illness, so I'm glad she canceled and didn't decide to come in. I just don't get that. Going out and about when you obviously have something. I don't care if it's a cold, I don't want it. So yeah, it was a busier week this week than it has been. And what else can I tell you? Family's all doing fine. Emma and Addie are chomping at the bit to get over here and play Barbies with Grandpa since he's out of quarantine now, so I imagine they'll either show up tonight or tomorrow. And Ben and Kate are doing well. I saw Kate from a distance yesterday. They dropped off I had given my mom this Christmas, I don't know what, display piece that I'd bought at Sam's years ago, and Melanie had it, and she was giving it back. She's still trying to clean stuff out of her basement, so I said I wanted it, so they were next door at the vet getting dog food, and so Kate knocked on the door of the shop and set it down and then went back over to her car. So I saw them from a distance. They looked to be in pretty good shape. And I didn't see Ben, though. I think he was probably at home doing his schoolwork. Let's see, what do I know? What else? That's probably about it. Abby and Reese and Travis are doing well. I think Travis's entire family has had their first shot because farmers are considered essential, so they were given shots. His mom is, I believe, in EMT. Yeah, I think. So she got one because of her job. His sister works in the medical industry, so she got one. So his family all got their first. So Abby and Travis's they're all covered with their first shot. I haven't gotten their second one yet. Amy got her second shot, and it did make her a little sick. She had a low-grade fever and some chills, but nothing too serious. So that's all good. And what else? That's about it for life updates. So last time, chart of the day was celebrate spring. And the question of the day was junk drawers, which I got 2 in this. Most of us have them. A lot of us have more than one. And I would say most of us aren't necessarily really organized in our junk drawer. So I'm glad to know I'm not the only one. And if I stop and I count it, I'd probably have, I'm going to consider most of my desk drawers over there not necessarily junk. Like this drawer back here, that it's pens and batteries and tape and just random paper clips, random nails, and just junk. The stuff in the desk, while not organized, is at least, coupon booklets for car payments and extra checks and that kind of stuff. So, but it's still a mess. So, and I still consider it to be junk. So I probably have a lot of junk that needs to get cleaned out, and I should do that. Maybe I'll clean one out today before I do something fun. Maybe. So thank you for answering that question. I appreciate it. Today's chart of the day, it's going to be a little bit different because I'm at home. I didn't bring bunches of fabric with me, so I'm not showing you any fabric options. I would probably keep this one on a neutral, mostly. It was a chart that was designed by Paulette from Plum Street for one of our retreats. And it's mounted on the spool that Dan has been making, which I kind of have bad news on that front. I went to go to order more of the paper mache boxes, and apparently Doris is no longer in business. Michael shut them down. So when Dan has made 9 of the spools. Now let me show you the chart. Let's start with the chart, so you'll know what. This is the chart that was made to go on these spools. You could put other things on there, but this is the chart that was designed. It was for our retreat, and it's called Count Twice. So it's Count Twice, Stitch Once. It's by Plum Street Samplers. Looks like this. There's a frog over here that's stealing a stitch from that basket. She's got a cage. She's trying to catch that frog in. It's an adorable little chart. We stitched ours on banding, 3-inch banding that was, I think, 32 count. Pretty sure it was 32 count banding. And I dipped it in some walnut crystals to darken it up a little bit, but it was just a natural color banding. It calls for Classic Colorworks. Stitch count is 145 by 49. The chart here calls for 36 count Vintage Meadow Rue. I think that's all to say about that. So anyway, that is again what the chart looks like. This is what it looks like mounted on the spool. There's that frog stealing the stitch. There's the top of the spool. And as I showed you in my last video, the lid does come off, so you can store things in there. It can be your secret hidey hole. Stuff all your millions in there. No one will ever know it's there, except for me, who knows that it opens, and now everybody out there in Floss Tube land. So, back to what I was saying about the spools. So this paper mache, which is 3 inches tall, and if you measure around, it's 12 inches. Dan, I had 9 of these that I'd found from Doris, and so Dan made 9 of them. One of them sold yesterday. They are on the website, but you cannot order it through the website because the shipping is going to be, I don't know what the shipping is going to be. So I'm going to have to find the right size box so that it can fit in there and figure the shipping individually. So you can call the shop and you can order one. You can email the shop and you can order one. You cannot order one through the website because I don't know what shipping will be. I sold one of these yesterday, so there are 8 left. I may have a few more of these down in the basement, but when they're gone, because you can only buy them now if you can. Hobby Lobby has been carrying them in a set of 3, but it's a small, medium, and large set. So cost-wise, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to buy the small and the medium, or the small and the large to get that medium-sized one. So I don't know that, unless I make different sizes of spools, but I don't know. We'll have to think about that. We'll see. They may sit here for the next 2 years. The first, it took probably 3 years for the ones we made back, and that was, as you can see, that was in 2014, so 6 years ago. It probably took 2 years to sell the extras I had at that time, so it could be that they sit there forever. I don't know. I just thought I'd let you know that there are 8 of them available. You cannot buy them from the shop. And don't try and call the shop today, because I'm not there. Okay? I will be there tomorrow until 2. So from 10 till 2 tomorrow. Just in case you're interested. So that is today's chart of the day. I also only have that one chart left. I've got them on order. They haven't shown up yet. Everything is taking forever to arrive these days. I actually called Hoffman's this week and said, hey, Hoffman's, quit sending my orders via FedEx Express, because they don't deliver to my shop until after I'm already closed at night, which does me no good, because then I'm never there, they can't leave it, and then it gets sent back. So they're going to change that to ground shipping, because FedEx ground comes during the daytime. So hopefully that will get my Hoffman orders there earlier. They tried to deliver my order from over a week ago. They tried to deliver it Thursday after 5, Friday after 5, Monday when I'm closed, and Tuesday was their last attempt, and he showed up about 5 minutes to 5. So this isn't bad. It's not as good as the full-on sugar stuff, but it's drinkable. I'm not a coffee drinker, but I do like something hot in the wintertime, and today seemed like a perfect day for it. So anyway, I should have more of those coming next week, more charts coming next week. So if you need a chart, you'll have to, unless you're the very first person that asked for it, you'll have to wait a few days before I can get it sent out to you. It's a really cute chart though, but I'm sure most of you probably stitched it. Anyway, what else? I've got a few things to show you that I have been working on. Mostly I've been working on my band sampler. I'm doing working on the 3rd decorative band. I'm probably about halfway done with it. And then the 4th decorative band is the same as the 3rd decorative band. So, and it's, again, it doesn't look like there's a lot of stitching in it, but there is. So I've been doing that. I've been working on my 25/7 challenge piece, which is going wonderfully. We are having such a good time. Well, I'm having such a good time. I guess I can't speak for the rest of you, but I'm having a good time. It's keeping me going on a whip, because, and there's been days when I've sat down and I'm like, I don't want to do it. But as one of my one of the challengers said, she referred to me as the fearless leader. I can't let the troops down, so I have to do it every day, which is a good thing. So I'm doing good on it. I'll show you what it is. So I think I showed it last time. It is the Winds of Autumn, or First Winds of Autumn. supposed to be made into that strawberry, but I'm not sure that that's how I'll do it. So I really like it. Okay, so we're 2 weeks into the challenge now. We just posted our second week's progress last night, and this morning I suppose there's some. So what I've basically got everything, I had this wing done, sort of. So all of this I've gotten done. All of this I've gotten done. These little things here. This, and these. Not bad for 2 weeks worth of work when you're not when you're only doing, I probably average about 50 stitches a day instead of 25. Pretty much I'm just kind of doing a length of thread. So like the last 2 nights I did this color and I did this color. So that was 2 nights worth of work. And it took about a length of thread to do each of those colors, so that's what I did. Which didn't take me maybe, I don't know, 20, 25 minutes. So I'm maybe working on it a little bit more than the 25 stitches. But I know in the back of my head I can stop at 25 if I want to. So that makes it so much better. I know a lot of the people taking place kind of went full on and were stitching on it all day, and that's fine if that's how they want to do it. I just don't want to burn out on it, which I think I would. So I'm sticking to the 25 to 50 a day, and I'm good with that. Last, I think it was Sunday. This past Sunday, I dug out Learn Little Maid. It's either Sunday or Monday. The days just kind of are a blur. Have you noticed that? I just kind of blur together. Learn Little Maid from the Sampler Company, Brenda Keys. I started this probably a year ago, at least. And I'm not sure what the fabric is. I want to say it's dried sage, but I'm not 100% certain on that one. So there it is. And what I got done was these letters here, the light parts of the orange, and then all of that green, and a couple more of these. Didn't work on it for too terribly long. I debated whether I wanted to keep that color in there or change it, because it doesn't show up real well, but I decided to keep it in there. So some progress was made, not a ton, but some. It was nice to touch it at least. And then briefly I touched my DMC anniversary sampler. There's the picture of it. And I'm pretty sure this is on Vintage Fawn. I don't have the card with me right this moment. Didn't do a whole lot on it. I only worked on it for half hour or so, and I finished these 3 flowers is all I got done. So I think I also put the pink in. I don't know, can you see that? The pink in this one. But I gotta go back and put the center part in it like that. Then there's a tree that belongs over here. I'll put that tree in, and then I can do a little bit of the border if I want. I like to do borders a little bit at a time because I find them mostly boring. I struggle with borders, so I like to do them a little bit at a time. So I'm working my way that way so I can do a little bit of border. What's that border look like? Let us look at it. It's going to be a pretty border, but you got to get past this one first, and then you get to do this viney one. But see this tree here, I haven't put in yet. And I have some back stitching to put in here. And then I'll do just a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and then I'll work my way that way. I'll probably go up here. Look at me planning out where I'm gonna go. I won't stick with it. No, I won't. I'll sit there and whatever color strikes my fancy is what I'll do. The only other thing I have to show you today, I took a couple pictures off the wall that I haven't shown before, so we're going to call this the off the wall segment. These are old. They're probably one of the very, well, we were still living in Wyoming. We lived in Wyoming for 8 years. I started cross-stitching the second or third year that we lived there. So these were done while we were still in Wyoming. They're done on Ada. I'm looking at it and thinking it's 18 count. And they've been reframed since then. They were just in a plain brown frame, and they weren't glassed, and the fabric was getting really dirty. So I took them apart, I washed them, and then I reframed them, put mats on them and glass, and they hang in the stairwell going upstairs. So they're from Cross Stitch and Country Crafts magazine, and it's called the Tea Party and Little Aviator, and I'm sure you've seen them. And this is going to have some glare because I'm sitting in front of the sliding glass doors, but this is the Tea Party. And I cannot believe that I ever stitched this, because quite frankly, at this point in my life, I would look at that and go, look at all that back stitching. No, thank you. But it had fractional stitches. I think it had blended threads. It had all that back stitching, and it was on Ada, where you have to pierce through the middle instead of an even weaver and linen, where you can go down in a hole for that. So this was not an easy stitch. And although I'm much more experienced now, I'm also smarter, I think, because I would look at that and go, not so much. No. So that's Tea Party. And then this is Little Aviator. And see, in my head, these were like Adam and Abby, because we didn't have Amy at that time. She didn't come until later. But they're adorable, and I still love them all these years later. And that's a lot of years, because that was back in 1980. Probably these were done between 83 and 88, sometime in there is when they were, so they're old, like me. And that, as they say, is all I have. I don't have anything else to show you. I do have a question of the day, though. So, Melanie and I, not Melanie, Abby and I were talking the other day, and she mentioned that she thought Reese was probably really going to enjoy the zoo this summer, because she'll be old enough and she's really into animals. They have, Travis does not have livestock, but his neighbors have cows, and Reese will stand and stare out the window and talk to the cows all day long. So Abby was talking about how she thought, my nose is itchy today, I'm sorry. How she thought Reese would probably really enjoy the animals at the zoo this summer. And I got to thinking about it. It's been a while since I've been to the zoo. I kind of would like to go. Omaha has an amazing zoo. If you've not ever been, you should put it on your bucket list. But anyway, got me thinking about what animals Reese might like best at the zoo. And so I was just wondering what your favorite exhibit is at the zoo when you go. What do you like? I always have to, it doesn't matter if I'm going for an hour or I'm going for 5 hours, the first place I go is the large cats, the lions, the tigers, the black, what are they? Black leopards. We got the leopards that are black, but they're still dappled, which are my absolute favorite. So the big cats are my first stop, and then I always have to make sure that I go see the polar bears, because they can be fun if they're not sleeping, and the sea lions and the otters. If the otters are swimming and playing, I could stand there all day and watch them because they're so much fun. I don't really care about the other bears, or, we've got a rainforest in our zoo, and I can take it or leave that. Elephants. I remember one particular trip to the zoo with the kids, and we were at the elephant enclosure, and the elephants decided to get a little frisky. We'll just put it that way. And of course, Abby and Adam were both like, what is that elephant doing? Which was a very interesting conversation, because you're like, okay, do you tell them the truth as to what they're doing, or do you just say they're playing or something? I don't, oh, they're going to play tag or something. I don't know. But I think I ended up explaining what was actually going on. That was not a conversation I would like to have all the time. So we just looked on it as a learning experience. We used to go to the zoo a lot. We had a family membership, and we'd go early in the first thing in the morning, and before it got too crowded. The aquarium is really awesome too. It's got the arch over the top of it, so you can walk under it and see the sharks swimming overhead. But yeah, I think I'd like to go to the zoo sometime this summer, before it gets too hot, or this fall. Probably better this fall. More people will be vaccinated, even though it's outside. I'd still rather wait longer. So that's pretty much all I have for you. What is your favorite zoo exhibit? I am going to cancel retreat for spring. It's supposed to take place at the end of April, first part of May. I don't think enough people will be vaccinated. And as I've said before, sitting in a mask at retreat is not my idea of a good time. Sitting 6 feet apart from people is not my idea of a good time. So I think we will hold off for October. I hated to do it. I was hopeful that, they Warp Speed would get the vaccinations out really fast, but unfortunately we dropped out of Warp Speed and are barely using thrusters right now with the vaccinations. So I haven't sent an email out yet, but I will see what people want to do as far as rolling their money over. I will probably have to open up registration, though. I've had several people cancel and want their money back, so I will open up registration to new people. Once I am 100% sure we will be having it in the fall. And let's see, I'll probably know that Nashville was canceled. There is going to be an online needlework show in March, sponsored by Janice from the Noteworthy Needle. And that's about as much as I know about it at this point. I am registered, but I'm not sure if there's going to be whether it's going to work like Nashville, where I have to go out and find all the preview pictures and put them on my website, or if there's going to be a place where you guys can go and look and then let us know what you want to order. I'm not sure how that's all working yet. I'm sure more information will be coming in the next few weeks, but I was looking at the list of who's participating designer-wise, and it's getting longer pretty much every day. When I checked yesterday, I didn't see Plum Street on there. I didn't see What the Needle on there. I didn't see Scarlet House on there. I don't think La Di Da was on there. But anyway, I'll keep you posted on what is going on with that. And I think that's about it. I had to clean up my hot cocoa making mess, because making hot cocoa mix is kind of like frying chicken. When I fry chicken, the flour goes everywhere. When I made this, the heavy cream powder went everywhere. The powdered sugar went everywhere. So I got a mess to clean up. And then I don't know what I'll get into. I should go down and clean up my craft room, because I tore it apart looking for something the other day. And so it needs some cleaning up. But I don't know if I feel like it today or not. So, Dan's going to make me some more of those yardstick boxes this weekend. And then he's got an idea for the little bits and pieces that were left over. We might as well use them. So he's going to make little tiny boxes out of those also. So he's going to be making the trays and then little boxes that you can, I don't know what you can use them for. Put your rings in, or I suppose you could put orts in them. Anyway, Stephanie got a little box from somebody. I can't remember. Stephanie from Just Keep Stitching. And Dan saw that and thought that would be a great idea. So he's going to make little tiny trinket boxes just to use the leftover. I'm having a terrible time today, between my nose itching and something in my eye. So he thought he'd use up the little bits and pieces rather than throwing them away, and make little boxes. And with that, I'm going to say, I hope you have a great day. Get some stitching done. I will see you next time. I don't know when that will be. I don't think Dan has did any stitching while he was down in the basement. He did redo a table for me, so I'll save that for him to show you next time. It's a little sewing cabinet that he redid. It was in kind of rough shape. And he made the spools while he was in quarantine. He's been building the train model. I'm sure he'll want to show you that. So we might maybe do one this weekend. I won't have much to show you, but he could show you his stuff. So I saw a rug. I know this is going to sound weird, but I saw a rug online the other day, and I was looking at it, and I thought, that would be a real pretty cross-stitch picture. So maybe I'll try and design that rug today. Well, design a cross stitch based on that rug. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know what I'll do. It's going to depend on what I feel like after I clean up. So anyway, have a great day. I will see you next time. Bye.